Hello everyone and welcome back guys to episode 3 of our F1 2021 Alpine mod career mode, where today we're here back ready for the duel in the Formula 1 crown. Yes, we head to the Monaco Grand Prix. If you guys have missed out on the first 2 races from this series, I would definitely recommend going back and checking them out. We've had 2 very fun, slightly different races, obviously in Bahrain and Spain to kick off the year, but heading to Monaco though this weekend, hopefully a really good chance for some big points. Always a track that I've enjoyed, always a track we've gone quite well at. Doesn't really suit the Alpine all too well. Obviously this thing's been a bit of a weapon down the straights, but not so good through the twisty bits in the first couple of races of the year. But we'll see what we can do. We are agonisingly close now at the time of recording this to 14k subscribers as well. So if you aren't already, please do hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying the series. And yeah, hopefully obviously we can then look towards trying to hit 15k as well in the near future. But yeah, let's dive in then here to the Monaco Grand Prix. So here we are then, qualifying day for the Monaco Grand Prix, and hopefully today we can get a good lap hooked up here and try to get ourselves towards the front of the field. What is the setup looking like? Not anywhere near enough aero. I will quickly get that tweaked before we head out onto the track. So setup all ready to go then. Let's head out for the most important qualifying session of the year here from the Monaco Grand Prix. Try and make sure we get a nice tidy run through the first couple of corners. Yeah, make sure you get this car high up the order as you possibly can. Absolutely essential here is Hamilton and Verstappen already trading fastest as we reach through Casino Square there. Verstappen so far up into the lead of this qualifying session as we try to avoid locking up through Upper Mirabeau there. A tiny snag of the brakes, but we're not going to lose any sleep about that, the same as we head in through the hairpin. But so far though, this lap's been fairly hooked up, fairly tidy, bit of kick of oversteer there. As we head out in towards the tunnel though, we're sat in P7 at this stage there, so would be our best qualifying position of the year if we did finish here. As we head though down in towards the chicane though. Oh, that was incredibly close to the inside wall. I thought we'd clipped it there. Did get away with it though, still sat just on the cusp of the top 10 as we head in through to back in towards the final few corners of the lap. Take as much curve as you dare through the swimming pool chicane down in towards La Race Castle, very deep there. I think we just nicked the outside wall, but we got away with it without any damage. Around the final corner, activate the DRS up towards the line. It's not going to be perfect, but it is going to be P9 on the grid for the for the Monaco Grand Prix, the same as we managed to in Bahrain. Holy Fernando Alonso, P3 on the grid in his return to the Monaco Grand Prix. There, a fantastic job done by our teammate ahead of homeboy Charles Leclerc in at 4th place. They're Vettel in 5th as well, ahead of Perez and Bottas, with Sainz, myself, and Daniel Ricciardo rounding out your top 10 there. So a very mixed up grid. Hamilton starts P2 just behind Max Verstappen there, and you can see the rest of your order there. Gasly, 6/10 off the Alfa Romeos at the end there, 1.6 off his teammate. He must have had issues at the end of his qualifying lap, but we've got a mixed up grid ready for the Monaco Grand Prix. Can we get a good result, or is it going to be Fernando Alonso who gets the first podium of the year for the team? Let's dive in then here to Monaco. Well, here we are then, ready for the Monaco Grand Prix, round 3 of the season, and yes, the duel in the Formula 1 crown. Obviously, we head back to this tight, twisty, technical 2-mile circuit, but yeah, generally a track that's always gone pretty well for us on the F1 games. But Fernando Alonso, our teammate for the first time this year, does seem like he could be very much quicker than us at this circuit. Then 2.07 miles, 19 turns, of course. We've been here before, we certainly know our way around this track. We've had, yeah, a lot of success, a lot of mixed success, that must be said, around this place. Not afraid to pull off an overtake if we need to, as well. And yeah, if we want a good result here today, we're probably going to have to try and pull out a couple of those over the course of the race then. But yeah, always look forward to coming back to this track. It, yeah, has definitely been one over the last few years that I've certainly fallen in love with, probably since about F1 2016. There or thereabouts. I really did sort of start to connect with this track and have really fallen in love with it over the last couple of years on the F1 games, especially there. Hamilton still leads the championship by 2 points over Max Verstappen, but with the Red Bull on pole this weekend, he could look to try and reclaim the World Championship lead as we head into towards round 4 of the year next time out. It is once again, though, Hamilton and Verstappen, of course, on the front row of the grid. I think we're just going to be expecting that throughout a lot of the season over the course of this game. Obviously, really still loving this career, but obviously if you guys are as well, make sure you leave a like and get yourself subscribed as well. But yeah, let's have a quick look then at the full grid order rundown. Like we said, it is Max Verstappen on pole for the second time in 3 Grand Prix there. Hamilton P2, just a 10th behind him there. Bottas didn't get P3 this time around. Of course, it was our teammate Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc, Vettel and Sergio Perez running that top 6. There is Bottas down in 7th place. I had a Sainz on myself and Daniel Ricciardo there. Stroll in 11th ahead of Lando Norris, Tsunoda and Mick Schumacher 13th and 14th there. The Williams make up row 8 ahead of Mazepin and Raikkonen, Giovinazzi and then of course Pierre Gasly rounding out your order there. He's in for a long day ahead of him here at the Monaco Grand Prix. But yeah, let's head down to trackside then. Hopefully we can pick up another good result today. We've been good and consistent so far. Long may it continue. Right, so here we are then, ready on the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix, round 3 of the World Championship, and hopefully today, like we've seen in the first couple of races, we can try and move forward over the course of the Grand Prix. Of course, it's a fairly simple one-stop. It's looking like a pretty cloudy day, though, here around the Riviera coastline. Again, obviously, we're not going to go under on fuel, but we're not going to go massively over either on it, as, well, 6 laps they reckon we can take the softs, and then go on to a set of mediums to the end. Not too sure why it reckons we can go further on the softs to the hards. Just codies things, I think, at the end of the day. But yeah, overtaking is going to be incredibly difficult, so strategy is very much going to come into it. We might have to do an early stop. We might have to do a late stop. Who really knows just yet? We'll see how the tyres handle. But let's dive in then. Round 3 of the Formula 1 Championship here from the Monaco Grand Prix. It is 5 red lights. We've got Sainz and Bottas just in front of us. And it is an incredibly long hold, but it is finally lights out. And away we go. Off to a decent little start as we head down towards turn 1 there, but Sainz aware of it, covers us off as we've got 2 cars trying to look around the outside as we head up the hill. Not too sure what that was all about, but we do hold on to P9 at the start of the Grand Prix there. I think that's Stroll and Ricciardo just behind us, trying to have a bit of a look as we head through Casino Square for the first time. Vettel and Leclerc just disputing P4 as well. Have a look at the inside of Carlos Sainz, up the inside in towards the upper Mirabeau there. We've got yellow flags out behind. Can we have a look around the outside of Perez through the hairpin? No, we can't. We tried it. We just couldn't quite keep the nose alongside on the exit of the corner there. That's what you got to do around here with the AI, it always feels like. You've just got to be a bit difficult with them and try and make their lives a bit of interesting. But we have survived the start of the Monaco Grand Prix. That's the most important thing. I'm pretty certain it is still Verstappen who leads at the front of your field there, Hamilton, and I think Alonso's still P3. I hope he is. He's had a good little qualifying session here. And I want to see him score some big points. He needs to. We have thoroughly trounced him in the opening 2 rounds of the year. Yeah, top 3 as they were. I think pretty much everyone inside the top 10 apart from myself and Sainz are as they started. Bottas and Perez have swapped as well, saying that. Oh, very fishtaily out the final corner though. This is not going to be an easy race. Verstappen's still, of course, setting the pace at the start of this Grand Prix. I think he's just trying to build up a slight gap over his main title rival Lewis Hamilton as we head back down through the first couple of corners though. We're still sticking fairly close to Perez, but I think it's going to of course be Vettel and Alonso that cause a bit of trains in this race. And again, obviously if they have really got that pace, should make things very interesting. Sainz getting a big run as we head down in towards the chicane. Certainly not going to be able to give him any room there, and we will hold on to our position. Almost forgot which button was the DRS then. It just wasn't expected to have it at this stage of the day. But yeah, we are sticking with Perez at the moment. Sainz now starting to drop back a little bit more. Don't know if he picked up a tiny bit of damage maybe with the contact we had with him. It was fair play to him trying to have a look to the outside there. But again, there's just... I can't remember if it was... I think it was Nelson Piquet. It might have been him or Keke Rosberg who said this track is like trying to ride a bicycle around your living room. And it is just so true. 1,000 horsepower. And you're millimetres away from the wall, pretty much everywhere. But boy, does it make it an experience. Oh, that's not helpful. I'm tempted to pit now. In fact, I'm going to pit now. I reckon we're just losing a bit too much time behind Perez, and I don't want to lose any in the pits when everyone else decides to make their stops. So we're going to come in at the end of lap 5 here, very, very early, it must be said, in the Grand Prix. But the mediums generally hold on pretty well around here. 3-second stop isn't particularly great. Oh no, we might come out in slower traffic. Have I just messed this up entirely? I hadn't even considered where these guys were going to be in this Grand Prix. I'll press the wrong button as well as we head back out of the pit lane, apparently. Oh, I'm still pressing all the wrong buttons. What a way to kill the hype, Matt. Fair play. Anyway, let's head back out onto the track. We are going to be P20 as we get even more fishtailing on the exit of the pit lane there. But we've got about 3 seconds to Giovinazzi and Raikkonen up the road. That's not going to be long at all before we close up to them. Oh, no one else has pit either at the end of lap 6. This isn't good. This is not looking good for us at the moment as we are closing up to the back of Giovinazzi. We might have made a catastrophic mistake in this Grand Prix, unless, of course, we can get a run on the Alfa Romeo man out of the final corner. I don't think we're going to be close enough to go for anything in towards turn 1. No, we definitely are not. Ooh, skipping the outside wall there. Can we get a run up the hill? Yes, we can. Straight to the outside of Giovinazzi there as we head up through Casino Square. Around the outside, perhaps. There we go. Up through Massenet. And we're up into P19 of the Grand Prix. That's our second on-track overtake of the day. But that's what we need. We've got no spare fuel, however. Can we get past Raikkonen? We'll have a look around the outside through the hairpin. I couldn't make the move work on Perez. This time round, though, around the fin, we will show him the wall on the exit. And we're up into 18th. Next up, Gasly, who might be a lot more difficult to get round. There we go. Alonso into the pits as well at the end of lap 7. So hopefully we are going to see a few of these guys getting out of our way, but I don't think we've gained anything by doing this. Hopefully we haven't lost too much either. Team saying the tyres need to last the distance. See, I'm sort of hoping that everyone else gets held up in the pit lane around each other. Is Gasly going to pit? No, he's not. So where are we? Oh, I've clicked the wrong button again. I'm so used to Xbox binds. That's so annoying. Right, again, heading out of the pit lane though. We might have made this work, actually. There's Bottas and Perez. Have we accidentally pulled this off again, just like we did last time? Yes, we have. We have made it work. We are up a couple of spots in this Grand Prix there. What does that put us up into? Net P6? Net P5, maybe? As we'll have a look around the outside of Gasly. No, we won't. Oh, he gives us the room. Hello? Pierre Gasly jumping out of the way, perhaps? Up the inside. There we go. Another move made. Hopefully Bottas won't be able to get past him. It's all getting a bit chaotic, though, around the Monaco Grand Prix at this stage of the day. Next up, though, Nikita Mazepin. Well, I thought we'll see the last of the pitters in at the end of this lap, so we should get a rough idea of where we are in this Grand Prix. Is Mazepin going to be... Oh, come on, man. If you're going to pit, get off the line at least. Around the final corner, though, where are we going to re-emerge in this Grand Prix? We're going to get ahead of Ricardo. Well, we're still ahead of Ricardo, but he might have made big gains for all this. Vettel, though, still just in front of us. So we are back up at a 6th place, then, of this Monaco Grand Prix there. But we should have pace over the Aston Martin of Vettel. They just don't quite seem to have the same as us at the moment. But yeah, Alonso and myself making gains out of this. He's now safely P3 in this race. The only other thing that's got me a bit worried at this stage of the day is how much fuel we've used at the start of this Grand Prix. We haven't used much in the way of rich revs, but we're still burning through more fuel than the team thought we would. So we have got to manage that a little bit more. We'll try and get back up to about half a lap's worth spare, and then hopefully we won't have to worry about it anymore. Half distance though this Monaco Grand Prix. So far we're up 3 spots. See, we're still setting new PBs in the Monaco Grand Prix, but Bottas, yeah, is still looking feisty behind us. I'm sure he's very confused as to how we were going to be able to get this overcut on him, or undercut even, sorry, I should say. But we've still got a good pace down the straights, and if he can't get past us down there, he's going to really struggle. I say that as we run horribly wide. He's just going to try and force us into an error, I think. Really starting to get to our groove now. That was a new PB by 9/10 of a second, as we are slowly closing up the gap to Sebastian Vettel in front of us, down to 1.5 now, with less than 8 to go. And we are also pulling away from Bottas. He's out of the DRS range, but for how long? That was close. Oh! I think Seb made a small mistake heading out of Portier, because now we are a whole lot closer than we were in this Grand Prix as we just nicked the wall through to back. Oh, I think we have taken a tiny bit of damage on it, but that should be okay to see us through to the end of the Grand Prix. As now we should get some DRS on him out of the final corner. Yes, we do. Get a little bit of DRS on Sebastian Vettel in this Grand Prix, and that's obviously going to help us stay a whole lot closer. That's not going to help us though at all. Picking up even more front wing damage at this late stage of the day. Only 5 to go. But we might just have to cool it down and accept P6. Oh, we got yellow flags out at the top of Sector 1. It's going to be one of the back markers, so it's not going to affect our race whatsoever, but are we about to see a car fall to the wayside here in Monte Carlo? There we go. Giovinazzi out. Oh, it's Bottas. Tried to send it through the hairpin there. Oh, he's dived straight into the pit lane, so Bottas must have picked up a lot of front wing damage in that moment, but there was no way there was ever any room for Bottas to have a look at the inside in towards Larascas there. And now it will be Perez that's going to try and apply the pressure between now and the end of the Grand Prix. We've got a couple of seconds back to him. But yeah, Bottas there with a desperate attempt to try and put himself back inside the top 6. There is Giovinazzi's abandoned now for Romeo. Another... Oh, God. What are we doing? Another not good weekend for Alfa Romeo, it's safe to say. Well, with 2 laps to go then of this Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel seems to have found another gear, because he is now not only pulled away from us, but he's actually really closed into the back of Charles Leclerc in the latter stages of this race. We're just keeping Perez at arm's length behind us, just making sure we're using the ERS down the straights where we need to, and then parking the bus through the corners where we don't. Oh, even more front wing damage as we head towards the final lap of the Monaco Grand Prix. Team are absolutely right, there's not enough time now. Perez really does almost do what Bottas did to us as we ran the final couple of corners to start the final lap of this Monaco Grand Prix. 10 seconds the gap now to Sebastian Vettel up the road. We're set in 1/16s at this stage of the day, but hopefully we can hang on just for one more lap here as we head back up the hill. Perez is going to use all of his battery, all of his energy that he's got, all of his fuel that he's got left as well, of course, to try and make anything work. But we're just parking it in the middle of the road, doing a Senna Mansell-style defensive job against Sergio Perez here. I think, though, Fernando Alonso, I'll be honest, heading into this weekend, I thought maybe if we get everything all hooked up, we could sneak a podium away here. But it will be our teammate, Fernando Alonso, who has delivered the goods for Alpine this weekend, and is what is close to, without being their home Grand Prix, over the course of this season. It's always historic when a French team do well around Monaco there. But the Spaniard, on his return to Formula 1, Max Verstappen wins the Monaco Grand Prix for the first time ever. Lewis Hamilton is going to come through for P2 there. Fernando Alonso, our teammate, is going to come through for Alpine's first podium in Formula 1, with Leclerc, the homeboy, getting a good result in 4th. Perez gives us a big punt in towards Larascas there, but he can't get through. Vettel in 5th, and round in the final corner from 9th on the grid, we are going to come through for P6. I will take the points.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
Well, 3 races running then. It has been Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton 1-2, separated by less than a second as well. Those two are certainly pushing each other to the absolute limits in the early stages of the year there. But it is Fernando Alonso who picks up P3 in his Formula 1 return to the Monaco Grand Prix there. A fantastic job by our teammate and some big points scored for Alpine this weekend. Homeboy Charles Leclerc 4th, ahead of Vettel, ourselves, Esteban Ocon there, Perez, Ricciardo, Sainz and Stroll rounding out your top 10 there. So both Aston Martins into the points, both Ferraris as well, but only one McLaren there as Lando Norris just misses out. Tsunoda in 12th place ahead of Valtteri Bottas in P13, just finishes ahead of the backmarker cars as well as Gasly, and you can see it was just Giovinazzi who didn't make it to the end of the Grand Prix there. Championship-wise, it means we move up to P5 now ahead of Carlos Sainz. A lot of movers actually up and down the order. Verstappen reclaims the lead of the World Championship. They're 6 ahead of Lewis Hamilton even. Charles Leclerc, 2 points now ahead of Valtteri Bottas after his first non-points finish of the year there. We're up to 5th ahead of Carlos Sainz, 26 to 24 there, and Alonso gets past Perez in the Red Bull, 19 to 18 points as well there. Perez 8th, Max Verstappen 1st. It's not been a good start to his Red Bull campaign there. Vettel as well gets the jump on Ricciardo, up into 9th and 10th place there respectively, and then you can see Stroll and Lando Norris, the last of your point scorers there. Mick Schumacher with that good result moves himself into P15, best of the back markers. And you can see ahead of Raikkonen there, Russell as well gets past Mazepin and Antonio Giovinazzi there. So a lot of movers at the end of the day there. Constructors-wise though, Mercedes still leads 6 points clear of Red Bull after this weekend. Ferrari still P3, just 11 points even I should say ahead of ourselves there. That's going to be a good battle to watch out for over the course of this championship. Aston and McLaren as well, another team to watch a battle that's brewing over the course of the year. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and yeah, we will be back very, very soon with round 4 of the World Championship. We head, I think, is it France next or is it Baku next? I can't remember. We'll be there very soon though. A big thank you to our channel members for making these videos possible. You can be featured in these end clips as well as granted access to some other exclusive perks for just £1 a month by clicking the join button below.